Episode 5 Skeleton Crew continues in the right direction as we get back on track with the story. This episode gets us one closer to Atten and gives us several events we knew were going to happen from the show's start. Skeleton Crew continues to prove that this is a great addition to Star Wars as it gives us more and more. I mean, we have had some good episodes before. It's been a bit spotty, but overall, I would say the show's good, and this episode is no exception. I would say this is one of the better episodes, in fact. And starting off, I just think it's hilarious that they go to this pirate stronghold, this legendary place that is feared, and it's a daytime spa with a pleasure cruise. That was so funny. I thought that was really well done. They pulled it off very well, and they're definitely keeping the story going as they look for Hat, and I really hope next episode we do get there. But getting into the spa and everything we saw there, because there was quite a bit that we saw. Starting off, we saw a hut, which was really cool because we haven't seen one of those in a long time, especially in live action. And I really hope that that's the Jabba the Hutt's son, especially since he has been cast and is going to return. They're probably not going to confirm it one way or another, but I think that's pretty fun. And I think this episode does everything right that it's been doing in the past. The kids do great, and they act just like kids. I mean, they find Cthulhu in the basement and they make friends with it. Given the name's not Cthulhu, it's very close to it, and it looks very similar to Cthulhu. But I mean, I think that's pretty funny. They send a robot up to get everyone else to for assistance, and they come back down and they're just telling Cthulhu a story. I mean, you can't get much better than that. However, if you did tell me that at the beginning of the year that we would get that in Star Wars, I would never have believed you, and I would have lost a tremendous amount of money. But Jude Law in this is fantastic. I am happy that we're getting character progression with him, learning more and more, and we're finally getting events around his character that we knew was going to happen from the start. And I'm so happy we got him. And I think it's just at the right time too, especially with 3 episodes left. I think this is the perfect time, and the story's going to really start to take off and I'm liking it. This is really well done. Acting is great. The writing in particular is really well done, especially for Star Wars since we've come off the Acolyte. This is leaps and bounds so much better than that. I am really looking forward to next week as I have several questions and we'll get into those in a little bit. But before we continue, let us know what you thought about episode 5 of Skeleton Crew. Are you enjoying this? I know at first, a couple of you guys were giving it a shot, weren't huge fans, while other people really enjoyed it. What are you guys' thoughts now? Are you guys enjoying Skeleton Crew?
But this episode was great, man. It's again, I keep saying this, it's very 80s nostalgia kids movie oriented. It's all of that junk, man, whether it's Masters of the Universe, E.T., uh, the Goonies, all of that stuff, it's all blended into one. And we get something that I was talking to a buddy of mine the other week, and he was like, "You don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude," because he gets really like, he was like, "We've had children perspective in Star Wars before." And I was like, "Okay, where?" And he said Phantom Menace. And I'm like, there's a child in the movie, but the story really comes from different point of views. You have Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, you have Padme, and then yeah, Anakin's 9, but it, sure, he's the centerpiece, but it doesn't really, here the main characters are children, and we're really seeing them go off on this adventure. And what Griff just mentioned, reading, telling the story to a monster essentially, and that's what kids would do. They would first freak out and then find ways to end up making friends with it, which is what we see children do in all these adventure children movies. They meet a monster, and adults would shoot him, would capture him or something. Children would find a way to make friends with the guy and put him on his team. Iron Giant and all these other great children like adventure movies. And so it's endearing. And if you are the kind of people that have family at home, you have children. It's funny, I was talking to my daughter's godfather, and he was like, my wife hates Star Wars. She just won't do it. But she's loving these episodes, man, because it it's Star Wars, but it's also giving us something different. It's giving us
Yeah.
a completely different perspective. So if you've not ever been into Star Wars and you want to get into it, and you've never even seen any of the other Star Wars stuff, you can watch this one and still enjoy it. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
what's cool about it. Because, with all these Marvel projects, although Kevin says the contrary, but if you haven't started from phase one and you jump into, I don't know, Captain America New World Order or whatever the hell they're calling it these days, you're not going to understand 90% of that movie. Here, if you've never seen Star Wars before and you jump right into this one, you're still going to have a good time. And
Oh yeah.
maybe it will open your mind up to saying, well, hell, now I got to watch Star Wars.
Yeah,
So
this is definitely a
it's,
great direction for Star Wars. As Edward said, it's a great fresh take, and that's something that's been missing from Star Wars from a long time. I'm really happy with it. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm really interested to seeing what color Jude Law's lightsaber is, and to me, that looks like a High Republic lightsaber, which has me super intrigued. I think that looks so cool. I'm really looking forward to next week. It just sucks that it's being released on New Year's Eve, which is
yes.
terrible. It is
Griff's, he's in a relationship, but yeah, I'm married and I'm a dad. So this episode was released Christmas Eve at 8 p.m. So I didn't watch it till Christmas Day,
yep.
but like later on in the day, after leftovers and all that stuff. Damn, Disney, that one was rough. I couldn't sit there and tell the family at 8, hey, start dinner without me because I gotta go watch Star Wars a little bit. And understandably so, a lot of people probably haven't seen it or are going to just now watch it just because of the timing. As Griff said,
They
next
should
week's
just release it
episode,
all on Monday.
yeah, it's New Year's Eve. Like,
I'm not gonna be able to watch it New Year's Eve. I can tell you guys that right now. We'll
yeah,
do our
no,
best to get
and
out as soon as we can, but it's gonna be late. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you're a fan of Skeleton Crew, you are undoubtedly going to like Sonic 3. It's a great ride from start to finish. It's a fantastic children's film. And even if you're not a child, I still went and I had a blast. It is such a great movie.